We hear so much about Zoom fatigue over the last year during this pandemic and the work from home change and putting in all of this technology so that we can all still communicate and keep business going. So there are some things now that we can do with things opening up with the vaccines and also considering how we come back to work and be able to communicate in new ways now that we've gone to this extreme of virtual communication. And how do we meld the two now? The thing about change is sometimes you have to pull the Band-Aid and rip it off and go extreme in order to come back to the middle. And for many companies and many people, doing Zoom type meetings and communications was very uncomfortable prior to the pandemic. So the good thing that happened is we all got used to being on camera, turning the webcam on, being able to see each other as we're communicating rather than keeping the camera off or multitasking during a meeting, that we are still having that personal conversation through applications such as Zoom and other web capability video conferencing. So now what to think about is as we go back into the office, how do we still enable each other to have this flexible work schedule, integrate Zoom meetings or any other web application that you're using when necessary, but not give up or go too far in any one direction. The other thing that's important is defining how you use these applications and putting rules of engagement around them so that we don't get worn out from being on video and we don't resist being on video. A lot of times I'll hear, oh, I can't get on another video call because I've been on video calls all day. But some of that is we've put so much structure into having a video call and scheduling it versus when we were in the office and could just stop by and talk to somebody. Really thinking about that with the communication that we have today virtually of how we can just pop in and talk to one another when we need a question answered. Sometimes there's too much back and forth through communication, through messaging tools, emails, and so forth, where we could just pop on a call without it being scheduled and just talk it out for 5 minutes and move on, or have the type of pop-in where it's about your family or friends or personal interests too, that it's not always around work. So think about how you're going to incorporate this, and as you start bringing people back into the office, maybe in small groups, how you still incorporate remote technology into those meetings so the people that aren't comfortable coming back have a way to participate, as well as how do you work some meetings outside and maybe go on walks to have those meetings and so forth, where people are going to want the fresh air just to feel fulfilled again. But I can tell you something, is getting back in person together is really meaningful. That we've spent so much time being so structured, and when we talk to people, that we have lost some of that just spontaneity that we have in our day. So think about how you can put that back and just enjoy the humanness of relationships and use the technology for what it's good for. Put rules of engagement around it so that you're not overusing the technology, and find new ways to be able to meet in person and collaborate where you feel safe.